Good morning, Photoshop students. Today is a welcome back lesson from spring break. It's meant to be an opportunity for you to get your feet wet once again in Photoshop, to remember how to open up a document, and I'll be teaching you just a few new things. So today, if you have not already done so, please make sure that you have, well, you must have done so. You're accessing this video through Canvas. I was going to say, please navigate to Canvas and access lesson 4. But if you're watching this video, the only way to access it is through Canvas. And hopefully you're on lesson 4 watching this video. And today we are going to do some text and blending using the text tool or type tool. And I'm going to introduce to you some blending options as well. Real simple guidelines for today. You will be creating a canvas that is 3 by 5, either 5 inches tall by 3 inches wide, or 3 inches tall by 5 inches wide. But in inches, I want your canvas to be 3 by 5, as it says right there. We are going to be introducing or putting just one photo onto your canvas. We will be using 2 types of text today. We'll be putting 2 text layers into your project. Each text layer must have a different font, and so a different style of font and a different size of font. And then we're going to go back to those 2 layers, and we are going to incorporate 2 different blending options. We're going to be using the blending options and putting 2 different types of blending options and effects onto those 2 layers. Ultimately, you're going to submit this in a Photoshop format and share it with me through Google Drive. Okay, so there you have it. That's those are our goals for today. Text tool, introducing type into a picture, introducing some blending options, and you're going to share that with me at the end of the day in a Photoshop format. So let me minimize that and fire up Photoshop. And projects on the screen there that you'll be doing in a day or two. Actually, tomorrow. That's the plan. So let me get back to the startup page here, and we are going to create a new document. And instead of 11 by 17, we want it to be, I'm going to say 5 inches wide by 3 inches tall, and at least 300 resolution. I'm going to keep mine at 350, and we are dealing in inches. So I'm going to create that, and there is my canvas. My canvas is 3 inches tall by 5 inches wide. And the photo that I want to use is on my desktop right over here. That is an old photo of my son when he was probably 6th or 7th grade. And for many years I thought, that he was pointing at the letter N, taking great pride in being a Newport Grizzly, even before he was in high school. But as you look closer at the picture, I think he's pointing at a ladybug. So either way, that's cool. So I'm going to make some adjustments here, modify the size of that photo so that it fits nicely within my canvas. If we were paying attention to the rule of thirds here, we would be doing justice to that rule, with the N being on 1/3, his eyes being on the upper third, and we have made a nice placement of the content within our canvas. And I'm going to click, boom, OK, looks good. So here I have placed my photo on my canvas that's 3 by 5. Now, getting back to our original goals, we want one photo, check. Canvas 3 by 5, check, check. Now we are going to use our type tool, and we're going to put 2 different styles and 2 different sizes of text in our project. So to do that, we need to go over to our toolbar and choose the type tool. And to begin with, I am going to just roughly say I want my type to be in that vicinity. And of course, whenever we put our type tool into action, this lorem ipsum blah blah garbage comes up. I'm just going to hit delete. And here I am going to type in look at the bug. Why not? And as I type, notice that up here on the options bar, the type is the same color as what I have chosen in the options bar. I can highlight those words, and instead of it being pink, I could make it a white type. There we go. And maybe that's your preference. I think I'll keep it white. I like that. Also, if I wanted to change the font, right now it's set at Arial Black. I could make it Baloo, whatever that is. And instead of 12-point font, which looks a little small, I can adjust it to, let's say, 18 font. There we go. Now, in order to move that around, I simply go to my Move tool, make sure that that layer is chosen, look at the bug, and that layer is a text layer. It even has a little text or a T icon for text. I have it selected, I choose my Move tool, and then I can move that text around if I want to. Groovy. So there's my first text. Okay. Let's place the second text now. I'm going to go back over to my Tools panel, choose the Type tool, and look at the bug, and get rid of lorem ipsum and all that kind of gobbledygook, and Ladybug's Rock. Okay. Notice that as I was typing, it went outside of the specified area that I established. In order to get those letters visible, I can either adjust the size of the font, or I can just stretch the box. Here we go. And by the way, as I was typing, the same font in the same color and the same style and size, they became evident and they showed up on the screen. Now, based upon the guidelines of this assignment, we need a different style, a different size, and we need to put some different effects on it. So I just simply have to highlight those letters, and instead of Baloo, I will use, I don't care for that one. Chalk dust. There we go, chalk dust. Ladybugs, once again, I can't see rock, so I'm going to stretch it out. Maybe instead of stretching it out, I'll use a smaller font. Let's see if it shows up. Oh, there we go. It shows up with a smaller font. It still is in that white color, so let's change it to a different color. Maybe kind of a ladybug color. Yeah. Ladybugs have that kind of pinkish reddish color on their wings, on their back. So I'm happy with it. Ladybug's Rock. Now, in order to move it, I need to make sure that Ladybug's Rock is chosen as that layer. Select my Move tool, and I can move that around a little bit. Okay, so let's go back to our goals. Canvas 3x5, check. One photo, check. Two layers of text, check and check. And both layers have different styles of font, different sizes of font, and they're different colors of font. Now, the final portion of this assignment is to apply two different blending options. Now, how do I get to the blending options? Well, let's navigate over here to our layers panel. And we will start with Look at the Bug. That is the layer up here. I'm going to click on that layer, then I'm going to right-click and choose Blending Options. And up comes another window that has a variety of blending options available for my use. I can apply a bevel to it, which is a very subtle effect. When I click it, it does have a little beveled look. And when I click on bevel, it gives me all these options over here, how I can change the depth and direction and size of the bevel. If I want to change the depth, I just simply move that slider, and it makes it a more pronounced beveled look. All the way to the left, there's basically no bevel at all. So I choose that bevel, I slide it, and I have a beveled look. Now, that is one blending option that I have applied. And let's see what other one can I do here. Maybe an outer glow. I don't know if I like that. What about a drop shadow? Okay, there's a drop shadow. It's in black. I'll go with the outer glow. So there's an outer glow, and you can see on Look at the Bug, the letters here, I have applied. Let me click OK. Looking at the layer panel and looking at the actual type that's on the canvas, I have incorporated a bevel and emboss blending option, as well as an outer glow blending option. And so that one is taken care of. We have just one more layer that we need to apply blending options to. So let's click on the Ladybug's Rock layer, right-click, click on Blending Options, and in this case, I'm going to use a couple different ones. To begin with, I want that drop shadow look. Boom! Okay, it puts a little bit of a drop shadow around all of the letters. And if I wanted to affect or change the drop shadow, I just click on the drop shadow and a menus option comes up where I can affect the opacity of it, the disbursement of it, the distance, the spread, the size, all sorts of different options here in the layer style drop shadow options menu. But that's just one blending option that I've chosen. And another one, let's see here. What does stroke look like on it? Ugh, I don't like that. Stroke, which is a fancy name for outline in Photoshop. In Photoshop, they don't use the word outline, they use the word stroke. It just doesn't look very good on that. Let me see, what else could I use? What does satin look like? Satin kind of diminishes its color. Oh, there's an inner glow. There we go. Let's use the inner glow. We'll use the inner glow function, which kind of highlights the ladybug's rock from an inward perspective instead of an outward or an outline perspective. So here we have, I'm going to click OK. We have our ladybug rocks layer, and not only is it a unique style of font, size of font, and color of font, but we've also incorporated two blending options, including the inner glow and the drop shadow. So for that layer, we're done. The next layer, look at the bugs. We have a unique style of font, size of font, color of font, and we have incorporated two blending options, including the bevel and emboss and the outer glow. Let's see if we can check off all of our goals here. We have a canvas that's 3 by 5. Let me see here. Let me move this over. Here. Okay. We have a canvas that's 3 by 5. Check. We have one photo. Yep. We are using two different styles of font. Not only two different styles, but two different sizes and two different colors. And we've also incorporated two blending options on either of those layers. The final thing to do is to save it as a Photoshop file and submit it. I'm going to click File. Oops. Activate Photoshop File. Save as. There's the pinwheel of death. If it doesn't stop spinning, then we're in trouble. But hopefully it'll stop spinning. It's thinking. It's been a long day for this this computer. Oh, there it is. Okay. Save as. I'm going to save it to my desktop, and I'm going to give it a unique name, Buggy Project. Okay. I'm going to save it as a Photoshop file. It will have the extension of PSD on the end. I click Save and OK, and there it is. It's even on my desktop right there as a Photoshop file. Final thing to do is to share it with Mr. Bradbury. I'll go to my apps, go to my Google Drive. I even have a, where is it here? PS means Photoshop. I'll click, drag, and drop that into my Photoshop file, folder, I should say. Where did it go? Where did it go? There it is. I'll right-click on it, share. I'm going to share it with Mr. Bradbury. There, Bradbury David at newportgrizz.com. He doesn't need to be an editor. I'll just put him as a viewer. Click Send. And if I did that correctly, I should be able to go to Mr. Bradbury's Gmail and see whether or not he got a notification saying that he got, yeah, there it is. In my Gmail, it says that David Bradbury shared a PSD or Photoshop project with me entitled Buggy Project. So there it is. There is the conclusion of our project. We created the canvas. We incorporated one photo with two styles of font, applying two different blending options, saving it and sharing it with Mr. Bradbury. There is our final project once again, and I have confirmation of receiving it through the email. Okay, there you have it. Do the same thing. Choose a photo of your own. You can take one with your camera if you like. You can use an existing photo that's on your computer or on your phone, and follow these guidelines, and you'll be set to go. That's your lesson for today. Tomorrow we will get into something new. Have an awesome day.